Coming up on Linux GameCast Weekly, FTL gets advanced, Axis releases a game factory, Dead Sky brings the zombies, and we finally get a proper fighting game? ? Then we throw the chairs at Nuclear Dawn Beta. All this, plus your hate mail. Let's go. And welcome back to another Linux GameCast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. So, this week, FTL's getting advanced, Axis brings a game maker. Nobody tests their Unity ports anymore, and Nuclear Dawn might be a little bit of rubbish. But joining me every week, the beast from the east, Mr. Sving. How's it going, friend?
And by east, you mean north, or I guess northeast.
I live in Antarctica now.
Ah.
Yes.
Clever girl.
And
Tell
all
the
the way
penguins
from
I
the
say hi.
States, Pedro's Alabamian cousin. Some say his name's David.
Hello.
Personality oozes from every pore. It is very clear.
Oh, well, something's oozing, anyways.
Yeah, it's getting there. It just takes a little bit.
That's all good, but before we get into this train wreck of cocaine Voltron, we do like to speak about what's been going on this week. I'll make mine quick, short, and to the point. Giggity. Maybe you guys can riddle me this. Everybody's on Steam, right?
Yes.
No, I've never heard of it.
Great, so we'll continue talking about it. It's got its little messaging system, which is fine. Yeah, it's messages. I've never understood the mindset of somebody that says, hey, that person's in a new game, and enjoying it. Let me interrupt their fucking play experience by sending them a message. Now, I know you can disable this, but it's kind of a nuclear option. So, I just don't do that. Wait till it's like maybe out of game, then send a message, because if you interrupt my gameplay session, I'm probably going to tell you to eat a bag of dicks. So, you got some barometing.
I got my...
Please be cracked. Oh, come on.
No.
Damn it.
I got my parameter. Stupid thing's attached to some stupid Google phone, though, so that kind of sucks. But now I can finally check the air pressure.
World's a safer place. What about you, David?
I've been testing some external HDs that went down today, and one had a bad controller, one was a bad drive, and now I'm joining you all.
Exciting stuff.
I was about to say it could be worse than I thought about it. I was like, no. Really couldn't come up with anything, but let's just go ahead and tell the lovely people how to horse.
Well, how we whore to the lovely people, I
Well,
suppose,
you
at
can whore us.
linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where you have all sorts of clickable hypertext objects, such as e-stocking guides and RSS feeds, and Amazon affiliate links, which you should probably click on if you're going to buy stuff off Amazon. And maybe if you're feeling extra special chocolate generous, you might click on one of these donate buttons, give us some wet, stinky cash, so that we can continue to operate this train wreck that you watch every week.
We even have
Or-
walls of shame.
We have the wall of shame. If you donate, you can get on there. Maybe we'll even plug your crap too, so people know that you associate with us. But anyways, we also have Chat Realm statically linked to our forums. You can click the forums button on our website and get there. You can join with any account. It's where we are the other 6 days of the week. It's where you found this clown. I don't know. It's like Flapjack or Jack Off or something. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, there's youtube.com/LinuxGameCast. Got lots of videos there. Good stuff. You should click on them. Players, how to, be reals.
We're definitely going to be doing some new
And-
players. There's a couple of
Oh, yeah.
games.
You know what? Maybe we'll do a player of Nuclear Dawn.
Good.
Yeah, we also have reddit.com/slash. Oh,
Snuck it in this week.
now we have the freaking Facebook page.
Now we have the best.
The best. You know, where all our fans are, Facebook, that bastion of privacy and user respect.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, so go there if you're on that thing.
If you
I don't
genuinely
know.
hate social media, give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could go to reddit.com/r/Linux_gaming, where we have lots of handy dandy. Oh, the Strider has something in there. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so Linux gaming tips, how-tos, and all sorts of good information there. You should go upvote. We pull stuff from that subreddit for our weekly show. So, Ven, I hear some people don't have the X-Clone controllers and have to make do with the PlayStation 3 controllers.
Do you know the funniest thing I saw? Well, I'll tell you in a moment, but what J-Man's talking about is our public service announcement. And this comes courtesy of Linux Nero in Chat Realm, pointing to this link from Game
All the way.
Imps.
All the way from Tanzania, no doubt.
I know, it's amazing. He thinks he's people. This tells you how to use a PS3 controller on Linux, USB version. Goes through what you need, sudo apt-get, so I guess you can modify that with the if you're on Fedora, or on Arch, you've probably hard rewired it yourself. You pulled out your soldering iron and burnt all your little fingers because you have no idea how to use it because you're an Arch user. But it will get your PS3 DualShock working via USB. Apparently, it's not that difficult. Maybe the hardest thing you'll have to deal with is detaching the kernel driver, which isn't as kinky as one might believe. But I think the best comment, I posted this on the G Pluses last night, if someone says, but I can't get my Ouya, what was that? Yeah, the Ouya.
Ouya.
Controller. It was like, doesn't work as a very good PS3 gamepad. And I was like, man, that thing doesn't work as a good gamepad with an Ouya. I don't think so. Have you ever played with one of those pieces of junk?
I don't think anyone has.
I mean, it feels like those like $10 gaming systems that you buy that, I mean, it's like a negative three
that have like all the
unit.
Atari games on them. And...
Right. There you go. Right. Have you played with any of those? Free Jack?
Oh, no, I haven't. I've
All
got
right,
the
then.
PS2 controllers, but not the PS3.
What do you use for gaming?
PS2 controller. I got a wireless and a wired.
All right. Seems fair, but you know, when you wonder where P-Man is, he's dead.
Yeah, we tossed him under the porch with that other famous LGC compatriot, our Steam
Linux. Will he do it? Come on.
Update
Of the week.
On the ball, Free Jack. On the ball. It's Steam Days.
Oh, January 15, 15, then 16, 2014, teen, in Seattle. Monster
Hipster
trucks.
Central.
Cancer.
Jello bondage.
Seriously.
Everything you could hope from a development conference and more.
I know, and one of the highlights, you're wondering, what the f is Steam Days? Well, you know, it's not like an old men's shower club, unfortunately.
I know,
Steam
that was
Dev
kind of
Days is a 2-day game
disheartening.
developer conference for video game professionals. You get to talk to, you know, Valve Steam team, and you get a chance to test drive some of the prototype stuff they've been working with, like Areola controllers. And Iculus, the man himself, Ryan C., will be screaming about getting started with Linux game development, which really shouldn't be a surprise. I might go to this next year. I don't know about this year. I don't think I can swing that time-wise. Would that be something you'd ever want to go to?
That might be interesting, if only to play with Gabe's nipples.
How about you, Cheery Uncle? What do you think?
Oh, I would love to go. Love to, but the way Pedro and I were talking about it, you have to be a dev.
Gives you that special juice and then touches you inappropriately.
Well, we could all go with a horse boy costume.
Oh, yeah.
They would have no idea what to make about that. But, J-Man, what's up with this?
Yeah, Stanley Parable. You might have heard of this one. It's one of these weird games that we haven't played yet because it's not on Linux. But someone asks, is there going to be any Linux support? And the response is really, they need the SDK that you can use to make mods and whatnot for Portal 2. Which really just begs the question, Ben.
Where Portal 2?
Exactly. That's what this basically boils down to. There's some stuff in Portal 2 that these guys need, and without it, there's no Stanley Parable on the Linux teardrop.
And to be perfectly honest, the Stanley Parable looks fun and comedic for what it is. There's nothing I really care about playing. I read this, and my only thought was, really? We haven't even got started on that yet?
Yeah, it seems like an interesting game, though. If it ever gets a Linux port, I'll definitely check it out.
How about you, Uncle?
Yeah, I would check it out. It'd be worthwhile. It might add to Portal itself, but I mean, you'd have to wait and see.
And see us go. Oh, and let's not forget about.
Oh, look, there. You know what? I heard there's some news from President Palin.
Huh?
Oh wait, no, that's. I'm mistaking Iron Sky and Dead Snow with the same thing.
Dead Snow.
They both have Nazis, man. You guys all look alike. Space Nazis, zombie Nazis. We're all pale as shit. You can't tell the difference.
Axis, not the Allies, and it's a game factory. Tell us about it, Free Jack.
Well, there's 3 versions. There's a free, a pro, and a premium. The premium $7.99. It's designed to work in concert with the free and the pro. And also, the pro and the premium can be used with Unity 4. And that's probably the biggest part of that. I've played with it. It's actually really nice. It works very well. It'll work on a low-end machine all the way up to your gaming systems now that are high-end and do very well. So you could design everything you wanted to, from the environment, the water, rocks, trees. It's awesome. It's not bad at all.
Does it have a tool set for giant purple dungs?
Giant purple what, Ben?
Dungs.
Dungs. Dungs. What are you, fucking Inspector Clouseau?
Fucking am now. Deal with it.
Does your monkey have a licence?
So, $14.99. What stinky cash is? That's a special promotion that ends on the 27th, which probably means you got about 8 seconds if you're listening to this on release day to get it. I'm probably going to break down and just spend some of my money on this to futz with it, to see what type of game I can come up with. It should be brilliant, and
it's going to be like pure nightmare fuel. It's going to be awesome.
With all the audio we have stored, I can make this man say anything I want.
You can already make me say anything you want, Ben. You just got to do that thing with your tongue.
Baby. So, man. Dodd Sky?
Dodd Sky?
Dodd Sky? All right. I looked at this and make a little video here. And from the video, it didn't look fantastic, but I was looking at this. I was like, this would be kind of fun for players.
You know what? It does look kind of interesting as a multiplayer game.
And that's apparently the only way they really want you to play it. I threw down 10 wet stinky caches on this thing yesterday, expecting, I wasn't expecting much, but I was like, all right, a good solid multiplayer experience. And they were having none of that. I'm like, Here's your single-player campaign. You can't adjust the difficulty settings, so it means that you can't play it, because you can't play single-player in the game. You just die. You get swarmed. There's no way to survive anything without having a couple extra players. If you read in the forums, you're seeing tons of people, the game's noping out left and right, joining servers, creating servers. They did release a patch this morning that clocked in at about 25 megabits, so that might have sorted some things. Like I said, it was a day one release yesterday. Partial controller support. Get this. You're looking at the game. Clearly, this is like forced, right?
No, I can kind of see that.
Yeah. They assign everything on the X-Clone controller except for one key. And guess which key they just didn't bother to map?
I don't know, Ben. It's almost as if I can't see the show notes.
Fire. Is this something you would play, David?
No, I'm not too much into those. I play more of the simulator type stuff.
Oh, like the horse pony thingy?
No, not My
The
Little
Secret of
Pony
the
or
Magic Crystals
Crystal.
is the best fucking game ever.
Now, Jordan,
Anyone who
we
says
talked
anything
this.
bad about that needs to die.
So that's the thing. I would hold off and let me futz with this a bit and spread some LGC cheer around our crew and hammer on it before you make the commitment. And this is a really sad thing I saw in the forums. I mean, it's a 10 quid game. I know no one's economy's swimmingly, but you really shouldn't be in the position of, like, I don't know if I can pull the trigger on this. So maybe you shouldn't be buying games right now. You should be saving for other things. And just wanted to say that. But I think that's going to end it for the horse, man, right?
Yeah, horse goes back to spoon Pedro's corpse.
Well, you know, maybe after some sweet gelatinous horsey love, he can, and that is no way a metaphor for Nori.
Heyo.
Zing!
Zing! I see what you did there.
Yeah. So, well, what's coming up next, Jim?
Coming up next, more news, but not Steam news, regular news. Steam news can go fuck itself. It's time for regular news.
No!
Yes! And coming up, more shit that'll suck my time away. FTL Advanced Edition.
Time Vampire
2000
Advanced.
Coming 2014 to suck away all my fucking free time. Oh, they're adding a bunch of new loot, new subsystems. You can hack ships. They have Chris Avalone from Wasteland coming over to write the very, very loose plot that connects these frigging maps together. I don't understand why they need to get a full-on writer. But anyways, they're also premiering FTL on iPad, which begs the question, where Android version? I mean, seriously. Why support that frickin' thing that has like a minuscule portion of the market share?
Because reasons, man.
Because reason. But anyways, it's a free update, so if you already own the game, you're getting a whole whack of new shit for nothing. That's pretty good.
I'm down with that, but these psychopaths are back for another go. Tell us about it, Uncle.
Open Morrowind 0.270. They've gone and added Acrobat skills that are now implemented. They've got a God mode that's been implemented. The new version requires libogre main 1.80. The latest libogre is 1.81. That's if you're doing the updates. The easy fix for the lib issue, which is simple, just create a symlink from 181 to 18, and that fixes it, and it will work. They haven't done anything other than those two updates, basically, to it. The text is not in the boxes still, so a lot of the stuff is still missing, but you can still go around, create your character, as long as you know where all the stuff is.
Well, that's neat. You can also swing by openmw.org/downloads. I got it to Debian Arch.
And Gentoo.
The real man's operating system, because they always do it live. And if you're wondering what the fuck an Open Morrowind is, maybe you haven't heard of it, it's re-implementation of Morrowind. You still need the data files from your original Morrowind disk, so pretty easy to set up, and it's getting near a functional game. So,
but I mean, again, if you're coming at this from the first time, you have to realize that they are essentially trying to re-implement an entire game in a white room implementation. So the fact that they have it at this point is damn impressive.
These guys are made of moon magic. That's
yeah.
So, the piano.
We have an Academy Award-winning movie coming to Linux, apparently. Oh, wait, no, something else.
No. You got that confused with a shit Unity port that really wasn't tested.
Oh.
Yeah. So, what is the piano, you might ask? Well, that's a good... What is the piano is a first-person horror / ambient game, plot-driven visual novel. Horror, that's a lot of horror. A small indie company from Hamburg. The full beta has already been released for free, but we need money to develop more. Now, maybe your YouTube video of slowness has loaded. Jesus.
Rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears. Visually impressive? No. Think of this as kind of like Amnesia on an extremely tight budget. Maybe. But
I heard there's some issues with like the controls.
well, I'm getting into that. The first thing you notice when you start piano is like, prepare yourself. This game could, cause epilepsy. With blinking lights and flashing and noises and all that. And, all right, fine. That just tells me that it's boring. I don't need shock tactics like that to get into it. But then you start playing it. I shit you not. I saw this with a Slender clone from some time back. So once you finally get through this fuck-mothering long intro, you start, and it's spin me right round, baby, right round. You're spinning in a circle. But after all this artsy bullshit that you had to sit through, you're like, oh, maybe this is a game mechanic. Then I spent like 3 minutes trying to navigate it. I was like, fuck this game mechanic. Fuck this game. And I alt-tabbed out of it, then it stopped. And I was like, oh, Unity. I've seen this bug before. Easy to fix. But J-Man, weren't you being spun right round, baby?
Yeah. I was wondering, after a few minutes of this, where is this going? And then I realized, oh, right, left.
So, D-Man, there's Lips of Sauna, maybe? Possibly? Update
Yeah.
something? I don't know.
Lips of
Never heard of it.
Suna updated to 0.80. When they did that, they still kept the original Ogre update to 1.74. Tried playing. All the models are still female. So it's still, at the same place it was. Not much of an update.
So, outside of the obvious that you have a, absolute disdain for women, did you find any problems with it? Nothing?
No, I mean, it plays the way it should. The graphics are anime type. As long as people are into the anime, it's not a bad game.
But anime.
Yeah.
Did you research that on the Google?
Maybe sent out some Twitters on the Twitter nets.
No.
Anyway, I tried it. I didn't build it from source. I had a PP available. I yoinked that, to be perfectly honest. Again, I've been playing this game, attempting to play this game for years, and it results in loading it up, usually once or twice a year, walking around for 5 minutes and going, the fuck all am I supposed to be doing? I think you had the same issue, Uncle.
Yes, you go around, you beat these little characters, and you pick up a piece, and then you move on to another one, and there's nothing else to do. At least nothing else shows up to do.
How about you fedora-wearing freaks?
Oh yeah, well I built it from source. All the depths were met from just the stock Fedora repos. So
what's the build system on that? Is it CMake or did?
WAF.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, it was something funky.
WAF. That yeah.
Yeah.
I untarred that one. I was like, WAF. What the fuck is WAF? But it if you run it once, it explains how to do the entire build process. But yeah, it builds fine. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Who am I? Where am I?
Oh god, it's happened again. Anyway, that's Lips of Soda Z080Z. It's there.
8 equals D.
That's right. And yeah, it's pretty much all the characters are scantily clad things with big asses and fat titties.
And they come nude.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
there's nudity mode in that. I was going through the options there.
So, Mega Glast. Everyone remember this? Anyone play this? Anyone in chat room? Did you ever try it? This is our old school.
Linux RTS.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. Well, actually, it's definitely one of the oldest, if not the oldest.
Well, it's based off Glest, which was an RTS, but
Yeah, I mean, Glest is just really what. I mean, these guys compared to Glest, this thing is moon magic.
Yeah.
But that's not saying much in the days of.
Well, I mean, for a FOSS game, it looks pretty good.
For a FOSS game, it looks acceptable.
It's no Zero AD, but Zero AD has money behind it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is there. I've always like jumped in, tried to play this, and it was just never fully my dice. I like it. Nothing bad against it, but this is 39Z performance improvements, menu GUI improvements, added Hiju, Abracadabric, and Vietnamese.
Sucky. You know, in Vietnamese mode, the entire dialogue is just sucky, $5.
$5. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Seems legit. I heard you had some issues with the sucky.
Yeah, I had to relink new TLS.so.28 to .26 and VLC core.so.7 to so.5. And I had a little bit of video screwiness until I switched the resolution from like 1024 768 to that one thing 1920 by 1080. Then the graphical glitches seem to go away. But it's an RTS. It's not really my bag. I played through the tutorial. It's a thing.
So, D-Man, did you ever play Glast or Mega Glast?
I've looked at it a few times. I've never really gotten into the RTSs as much. There's only a few that I'll play, like European Escalation, but I've never really gotten into Mega Galest.
Well, you might want to try it out. It comes at a fair price, which is free.
Yep.
PPAs, sources, I'm sure, some packs and some mans.
You know what? It has dynamically linked binary and script you can use to just install it. So if your OS doesn't have a package for it, then that's how I installed it anyways. It was fairly easy. No real issues aside from...
Let's get ready to humble! Kind of, maybe, possibly?
No. What are you talking about, you fucking crazy-ass Nazi fuck? This is Haymaker. It's a Unity game.
It's a farming simulator.
Yeah, it's a farm. No, it's 1930s era boxing simulator, or it would be. It says you need to have a controller, so I went and plugged in my Xbox controller. Didn't work. Switched to my PS3 controller. Didn't work. So I kind of stopped there.
I tried this with the X-Clone controller. Didn't work, and that's about where I stopped. David?
I checked it out using the keyboard. It plays well. It's not as easy with the keyboard. You have to use that controller. So it's multiplayer locally only, not networked. It's Unity, and other than that, it's not a bad game. And right now, it's free.
It's untested Unity, so we kind of have to shit on it.
Yeah, well,
You know what? I do like the Rockabilly soundtrack though.
At least they were ballsy enough to just put that in the download, which I like. They're like, man, we clicked export. You get what you get, so you're not expecting a whole lot.
Yeah, they should really spend some time testing it though.
Well, yeah,
these issues aren't that real difficult.
Well, they're
to
not
fix.
trying to sell it to you like some other people.
Well, and also,
well, at least they're not asking for $200 either, or $2,000.
Set your permission on your binaries before you release them on Linux, please. Having to chmod stuff, while not difficult, is a no-go for your average Arch user.
Indeed. So that wraps
thing. That's IndieDB. Link in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. All this shit is in the show notes accompanying this wonderful little video audio podcast train wreck. So that wraps it up for regular fucking news. Coming up next, we take the nuclear option. Throw some nuclear chairs at Nuclear Dawn.
Give them the D's.
The D.
Oh, he doesn't know
What
if he
D?
should
You
talk.
want my D? I don't have any D.
Nuclear. It's Nuclear Dawn, or at least the beta of Nuclear Dawn. From nucleardawnthegame.com, Interwave Studios is the developer, coded in the venerable Source engine and priced at $10. So this is some sort of team shooter thing that pits fake communists against fake Americans for domination over the fake world.
Well, we talked about it last week, man. It's a full FPS and RTS clusterfuck experience.
Yes. Well, it's kind of like natural selection with communists. Anyways, metrics. Chair explanation. Yeah, 1 chair means that it fucking sucks. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means that it's schmorgasmic. Normally I'd reference Pedro's O-face, but we have this guy, so we're going to get his O-face.
Yeah, I'll give you a good one.
Well, we're waiting.
Which part do you want? Makes with the working?
All right. How about some categories?
All right. Yeah, so all right. Well, we also have our categories of Doom. Mixed with the working, shiny sounds, controls, and fun. Mixed with the working is does it work? Shiny and sounds is whether it looks pretty. Controls is self-explanatory, as is fun. So Ven, did it make with the working?
Well, buy Nuclear Dawn for $9.99. Wet stinky caches and makes with the working. To quote Lana, nope. Gonna have to give this one chair. Because, and keep in mind this is the beta. We'll do a full-on review when it's out of beta and give it the beans, but until then, 1 chair because it doesn't work. It looks like it's going to work. Gives you the impression that, hey, you're about to play a game. And then it does this. How about you, J-Man?
Yeah.
This is on our...
It really ropes you in. It's like, oh, the game starts up, and you can click on some shit and go join a game, and then it kind of dies. So 1 chair.
All right, D-Man.
Yeah, I started it up. It looked nice. It sounded good. It was moving along. Went to go to the tutorial. It locked up. Then backed out of it. Came back in. Tried to do something different. Instead of doing tutorial, do the training. Locked up. I said, okay, let's try something else. Backed out of it. Came back in. Clicked on play to see if it'd find a server. It locked up. I said, son of a bitch, another lockup. And I said, that's it. We're done. And gave it 1 chair. Because it did not start anywheres.
It's a pretty complex
and that menu turned out to be the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh,
yes.
Zing.
Asking for tree
That's
fitting.
why you guys run the media.
Yeah. So, mixed with the working, 1 chair. And if you have any clue about how this review system works, you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. This sets the tone for the rest of the segment. Then, shiny and sounds.
Shiny and sounds. Well, the menus, they're quite nice. The game, fuck all if I know. Hard lock's long before you get to that part of the experience. But, decent menu music, very fluid menu navigation. Really like that. So for, the shiny, I'll give it 2 chairs for that. I've been a little over generous, but, for the menu, it wasn't too bad.
That's where we disagree. See, Shiny and Sounds is supposed to be about the gameplay graphics and the gameplay audio, and unfortunately, I can't see any of that, because it crashes when I try to play the damn game. So, 1 chair for Shiny and Sounds. David, Free Jack, Flapjack, whatever.
I agree with you on that, Jordan, but I'm differing on the number of chairs. Sounds great with the music. The menus, like Ben said, were fluent. They flowed. They had a purpose to them. Everything looked good up to the point where you went to play the game. I gave it 3 chairs because it actually looked good up to that point.
That is ridiculously generous. I have to question your mental state. But that averages out to 2 whole chairs for Shiny and Sounds. Now, Ven, did you feel throughout your playthrough of this gripping at the edge of your seat type of game that you were in control?
Again, J-Man, the menu controls are nice and tidy. Very sharp response for setting the options, making modifications to the control schemes, and all that business. But, again, no idea about the actual game because it doesn't work. Gonna have to give it one chair, just because that's what it deserves. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. One chair. Because, yeah, this is how many chairs that I'm giving it, because I can't play this fucking game. What about you, Free Jack?
I gave it one chair because that's as far as we got was menus. That was it. No further, no nothing.
All right, so that is one whole chair for the control segment. Excuse me, I kind of had a stroke there. Final segment. Fun, last objective category. 3 different people, 3 different OSs, 3 different sets of hardware. Go.
Brilliant! Let's take a look at it. Nuclear Dawn, is it fun? Really? At the end of the day, take a shot. Menu Simulator 2013, it's a mixed bag. To be honest with you, I laughed. I cried. I also wondered what I could have done better with my 9.99 wet stinky caches, because I could not have any fun in Menu Simulator 2013, also known as Nuclear Dawn Beta. Giving it to one chair.
So, yeah. I would say I had a lot of fun trying to start the game, but that would be an outright fabrication. This game is unplayable. So, what fun is there to be had aside from shitting on it? One chair.
And for me, it was no fun. I expected a really good game. Got a game that one dev has responded about this issue in 3 days ago. And it was, thanks for your patience, guys. I'm still working on a patch for this and some other issues. That was 3 days ago on the 20th. And there's been nothing since.
It's just a minor bug. Minor bug.
Well,
no patch.
It's a minor bug that should probably be followed by, like, do not buy the game, yet it doesn't fucking run.
Yeah. So that's
how many chairs you giving it, D-Man?
How many chairs?
I gave it one chair because there's no patch yet.
So that's one chair for fun. And I think you know what this final segment of this review segment is. Our total. And
well, let's see. We had 2 chairs, 1 chair, 1 chair.
I'm going to say 1 chair.
Really?
Really?
You going to 1 chair?
I'd say 1 chair.
All right.
No. Would you give this a number 2? Would you say this is meh overall?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for in a menu simulator. As a menu simulator, it does a fantastic job of showing you the possibilities that there might eventually be a game developed on the other side of the menu, and what you could possibly expect once you're able to play it. But yeah, I think maybe the 1 chair is fair enough. You got any final thoughts, D-Man?
It's another show of them porting a game without testing it. I mean, they ported it, threw it out there, said, here, you test it for us. And then you got all these people out here going, well, it's not working. And you have one dev respond. I mean,
it's a minor issue, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the servers crashed too. It's minor.
Just teensy little bug. Like, yeah. They just forgot a semicolon somewhere. That's
a small thing. I think the one genuine question I have is, like, what fucking moon operating system did you test the Linux build on? Because no one in the forums has said, oh, I've got it. No one has said.
It only runs on Red Hat Halloween Edition.
Yeah, and what's so sad is everybody that has posted their specs in most of these cases, they're 64-bit systems. So, I mean, they're the average system. They're not just any system. They're average.
And I'll
And
confirm it doesn't run on 32-bit either.
Shock and awe.
So,
that was Nuclear Dawn. We picked the nuclear option, gave it one fat, stinky chair. Coming up next, your hate mail live on air.
now it's time for the hate mail. That's right. We scream in your direction weekly, and we give you the opportunity to screech back in ours. How do you do that, you might ask, Finn? Well, you send in your news, tips, tricks, request, hate mail, just bring it. Click that contact page. Give us a name, give us an email, give us a subject. Prove that you're slightly smarter than a bot, and you're saying, Finn, the capture and the math capture, the send button's in the middle. That's to keep out the bots and really daft people. And if you're crowdfunding anything, for the love of flying spaghetti monster and everything unholy, do not contact, and I repeat, do not bother us, unless you have a working Linux demo. It doesn't have to be public.
Or we will spice up your life.
Oh, we will, baby. Doesn't have to be public. Just let us peek at it, take a look, make sure it's really there, it's something you're working on. Doesn't have to be finished. And we'll help you out with that. So, D-Man, I'm going to let you get into this first one.
Okay.
This comes from David. Could you read it to us? David?
What would you think of adding a new small section to LGC Game Find of the Week, finding a new game that is not mainstream, that could be turned into a real good game? Should people know about it? Type of thing.
David, isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Nah.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely positive in that statement?
Yeah, positive.
All right. What do you think was going through this psychopath's mind when they suggested something like this?
Kind of like picking a game or finding a game that's not mainstream. It's not in the main news. It's not in Steam. It's not in any of the the mainstream. That's just there and nobody's noticed it. And then just basically publicizing, hey, check this out. It looks interesting.
Well, what do you think about that, J-Man?
You know what? I'm not against the idea. I think there's a lot of independent made games and a lot of FOSS games that are actually pretty decent that could use a bit more exposure. I mean, a lot of people think that, especially for FOSS games, a lot of people who are trying to get into game development don't really have a starting point. So just picking up an existing code base and trying to get stuff working is a good place to get practice. I mean, that's what Flippity Floppity Floop does with his kids.
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, that's the main reason we have our Steam news, because that covers the Steam games, Steam communities, and we have our regular news, which is reserved for open source games and smaller titles in general news. It's just, I don't know if there's enough to dedicate a special segment every week for, like, the obscure game of the week is.
I mean, if people want to write in and say, hey, I'm developing a game and it's me and my dog trying to throw this thing together, then, we'll take a look at it and maybe give it a mention. But
yeah, well, absolutely. Because
I could see it being added as a normal news section, at the end of it, maybe.
Well, again, we'd have to go looking for these games. That's really it. And a lot of them are just hiding in the dark, deep corners of the internet.
Well, there's some people out there that can find them. Just a few.
Yeah, like Gustavo, because he sends us to him on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And I really appreciate him, because he'll forget to include a link, and he chastises himself. He'll write, bad Gustavo, then send the link. But yeah, David, if you would give David some advice, because this is kind of meta. Yeah, I would say to David, if you got some time, send in some obscure stuff, because once it's on Linux GameCast Weekly, it's not going to be very obscure for long. Now
he says as if our podcast is of any significance.
Mm-hmm.
This next one's from Fran D95 995. I can't read today. He says,
Yay.
Ben, are you a metal singer?
Absolutely not, and I'm offended by the notion. Now, I did front a death metal polka band, but we mostly played Christian music, so no.
Yeah, now he just thinks K-pop.
Pretty much it. What are your thoughts on K-pop, David?
Never paid any much attention to K-pop.
Via osmosis, I listen to a lot of fucking K-pop. Yeah. It's pretty bad.
And he can't help but sing along. I mean, they're earworms.
So
you should see him on death metal karaoke night. Nothing to do with death metal whatsoever.
Nope, not at all.
That would make a good videotape segment.
Well, what's videotape?
Okay, just be a good video segment. Take the tape out.
Seriously, man, if you're not recording your shit on Betamax, then go home.
Yeah, I record on vinyl, Laserdisc.
Vinyl laser discs.
Yeah, suck it, hipsters. So, real quick mention of, wait, hang on. Boom, let's cue that music. Where can they find us, J-Man?
I can find us at linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where we have e-stocking guides, RSS feeds for SD audio, SD video, and HD video. We also have donato buttons and Amazon affiliate links, which you should click on and give us money, because we pay for this podcast out of pocket.
Brilliant.
All the money that you send us goes right back into the show, be it buying equipment or games or scheduling interviews or business cards so that we can promote ourselves. Yeah, all that stuff. There's also Chat Realm statically linked. We kind of forgot about Chat Realm dynamically linked, which you can see at the bottom there. That's our IRC chat room on Freenode at #LGC-weekly. But we're only there. We try to make Chat Realm dynamic a bit more permanent. But for the most part, if you want to get a hold of us, linuxgamecast.com/discussions-2. You can sign up with any account. Start posting.
And absolutely, if you want to make the point, yes, you can do all that. Get in there, scream at us. We scream back, because I've always hated, with other podcasts and stuff like that, the people on the show are not in there. We're in there. We talk. There's no ranks. There's no titles. Well, there's chair rank, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of random. It's a randomly assigned score, pretty much.
YouTube.
And Ben is winning. Yeah, YouTube. YouTube.com/LinuxGameCast. Lots of videos there, B-reels, players, episodes of this lovely little train wreck, though, while you're watching an hour-long podcast on YouTube is beyond my comprehension.
And we also have a Face Butts page run by our favorite Mexican, who is MIA because he's dead. But we'll see if he can be resurrected. And finally, last but not least, our second favorite Kiwi. This one, unfortunately, has still been beat with the ugly glaring stick of green and red and yellow, just to fuck with everything else. That's a great thing. It's Linux_gaming. But at the end of the day, take a shot. Because I'm Vin Stone, at Vin Stone on the Twitter nets, plus Vin Stone on the G pluses, and there's He-Man here.
Look at my muscles bursting out of
Your
my
muscles
shirt.
are amazing.
You can look at more of that at The Burning Fool on Twitter, plus Jordan Svung on Google+.
And Pedro's Alabaman cousin. David, where can they find you?
They can find me at plus David.Truesdale at or no, not David plus Truesdale on Google. It's plus FreeJack now on Google. So they can find me there. Other than that, find me in LGC in the chat realm.
And on that bombshell, let's say, get her done to the lovely people. Take your nerves! Take your nerves!
Get her done!